Nashua, New Hampshire. I've adopted that city the last 12 years. Brought up in New York State, Beacon.
There's another New York.
Oh, that's right. You came back on.
I came back up.
JJ is from Long Island. Anyone here from Long Island?
Not quite Long Island. Queens, New York. That's New York City.
Queens, well.
It's on Long Island.
Yeah, it's on Long Island. The East River separates you guys a little bit. Okay, this is a mandatory stop we have to make in order to make sure our brakes are operating okay. You see, we've been coming down from a 65-foot higher position than we had been when we left the terminal. I have one thing. Very good. Okay, I made this stop because we'd like to just report a little bit to our history. I told you about the Atlantic shoreline earlier, how it started in Biddeford back in 1904.
Cleared to a rental station. Charge any remaining tax.
How about the paddleboard? The paddleboard is not bad.
Who wants to push this up on the board?
Did I do my
They're up here. They're up here.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I lose them every day.
1850 to about 1880 or so. And then electricity was introduced in 1888. Sanford, Maine is only about 15 or 18 miles from here. So this is an example. Virtually trolleys brought the...
Underneath the ground and
Yeah.
open and closing things.
Let's say I'm standing on the tracks. There's a slot right down the center. And about 9...
Are we supposed to get onto that bus, Dolly? Oh no, I didn't. That's Dolly's leaving us back to the station. Why are we stopping? Oh, are we back? Yeah.
Car number 2 is now loading for the 3:20 trip to Talbot Park.
Today we are in Meredith, New Hampshire for the Winnepesaukee and Pemigewasset Valley Railroad train ride. This is not what we're riding, but this is what's sitting here at the station. We're waiting. Borrowed Volvo Railroad engine up here. Sitting here for a purpose other than transporting me today. This is from Hobo, number 959. If I'm not mistaken, this might have been from the Main Central at one time, but I'm not really sure. I have to go check it out. One would say it's better known as the Winnepesaukee Scenic Railroad. The sign says. Tickets are available. In this old bagage car. We have one boxcar for specialized purposes. We have 4 caboose sitting here. The first one belongs to, or I should say belonged to, Boston, Maine. As does apparently the second one. And here's one of mysterious heritage. And finally, there's one which is at the railroad where we find ourselves today, Winnepesaukee Scenic. And of course, our going nowhere train sitting alongside the parking lot here. Going nowhere, we are not scheduled to be home. It now appears that our conveyance is arriving. Making all the right noises. Interesting collection of vehicles.
thank you for riding with us today. The train you're riding on will be taking you south along the shores of Lake Winnepesaukee through Weir's Beach, where we'll be stopping briefly, and then we'll continue along Paugus Bay to Lakeport. After stopping to change ends, we'll then make our way back up through the Meredith for a round trip covering just under 20 miles. We do have just a few rules on board our train for your safety and your comfort. First, we would like to remind you that there is no smoking at any time. We'd also ask that those of you folks sitting in coaches with open windows, please keep your arms, heads, and legs inside the train. If at any time during the trip we can do anything to make your ride more enjoyable, don't hesitate to ask as we'll do our best to assist. So sit back, folks, please relax and lose yourself in time as we travel along the scenic Lakeshore route, just as travelers and vacationers alike have done since this railroad was built over 150 years ago. Thank you.
We used to let him drive, but he got lost 3 times. We had to stop him. Yeah, he tried to take us across the lake. It just wouldn't work with that. Freeze the tree tracks. And they tried to me drive, and I tried to climb over the mountaintop and crack him. Enjoy your ride, kids, okay? All right. Oh, I'm gonna have to see what's up there.
The train has stopped at Varius Beach. Along here. Inside the coach. RDC, book car, next to us. An old coach. That's it. Give you like I want to look to it, but who knows? Train is unloaded and we're waiting for new passengers to come on. Some things need to be done the old-fashioned way. We're waiting to depart on the train. In the meantime, we're just going to eyeball scenery on the opposite shore. It could be Mount Washington back there if you looked at it, but I'm not totally sure about that.
been to before? No. I went for my own swimming.
Can I get that from
We are in Lakeport, New Hampshire, USA. We are standing in the rear of the train, which was the front of the train, as it prepares to return to Meredith, New Hampshire. We are in Bud RDC, formerly of the Boston and Maine Railroad. I'm of the opinion. Number 6105. This one is not heavily populated. A nice view of the lake out here. And, modified windows used for this. The child needs modification there too. It says 6105, so I'm guessing that's the original number. And that little scalloped awning is on an old coach from who knows where. Suspiciously like Erie, Lackawanna, or Jersey Central or something. Right near the other side of the train. Lake. Seems we are in motion once again. This is the runaround track. There's Lakeport. The child in the background. Nicely landscaped and grassed in because it was once a yard for the Boston and Maine. Now home to a lot of very nice, rather elegant cottages from my youth. You must have a train going through your yard, and it doesn't look like a typical railroad neighborhood. No trash on the ground. Nice like steps around here. Now cottages or condos, whatever they might be. A little musty stream down here. The lake is right behind me. August Bay, it's called. That's it over there. That's our coat. We have a nose table. We're spending a few minutes here at the Valley Railroad in Essex, Connecticut, and let the sounds and sights kind of speak for themselves along here. This kind of spare rolling stock that's sitting here with no place to go. From the old Lamoille Valley Railroad in Vermont, which is an off and on again railroad. It's kind of a snack bar car, and this is a dinner train made up of heavyweights. I don't know if those are really ex-New Haven or they're just painted up that way, but 6-axle cars. A lot of pressure down on the old rails. Well, here we are at the Valley Railroad. We're soon going to say goodbye as we panel on the station platform. All its various pieces of information available to potential passengers and rubberneckers like myself. And that's the grill car. So we'll say a fond goodbye to Essex, Connecticut on this September day, 2002. Well, our fader is not working very well. We are at Old Saybrook, Connecticut, and this is the Old Saybrook Old Station, or the Old Saybrook Station from the New Haven days. And its life expectancy as a station is probably not that great, although I doubt that anything's going to happen to the building. Because we have a new station under construction next door. As you can see, this is it. We are shooting into the sun, unfortunately, but we have this little arch thing. And I was here before in February. This was in the parking lot, sitting on the ground. Well, that's part of the structure, but this is high-level platforms. This will be for the Shoreline commuter train and for the Amtrak trains that do stop here between Boston and New York. We have an electrified outside track, and I assume that is for the Acela. Over yonder, new rail going in place for I don't know what, but that's the old Valley Railroad branch up there. It goes up to the Essex steam train and switches down here somewhere. There is a sign on a shelter announcing a rail shuttle to Essex for the steam trains. However, judging from the condition of the sign and the trash piled up around it in that little shelter, it seems to be kind of abandoned. I really doubt that such a service exists anymore, but we can be nostalgic about it. The track is on the other side that goes up to the Valley Railroad, and I have seen it used for storage of the Shoreline East trains, and I think that's what's going to happen to it basically here this afternoon. Shoreline East train is due in about 10 minutes, and then we'll return to New Haven after that, looking up the main line here toward New York, and all of the erector set, overhead, and signals and stuff that now characterize the Northeast Corridor. And this is north and east of New Haven, so this is the sort of stuff we never saw before in recent years. We are looking at the little used track that goes up to the Valley Railroad in Essex. And this truck is that shelter we were looking at, but I moved over so we don't see it now. Anyway, that could be an M truck, I'm not sure. That road does go to Essex, and it does go up to the Valley Railroad, which starts at Essex and goes north along the river to sort of Nowheresville. It's a warm September day here in Connecticut, but winter is not far off, temperatures in the 80s today. Somewhat warm, somewhat humid, but I don't think this is for adhesion, except for the feet, which are tread on the station platform. Sort of have the old and the new here, with the new station, high-level platforms, probably handicap elevators in those two towers, and a safe way to cross the tracks, which is always desirable. Here, you could step out in front of a cellar that you'd never hear coming, but people are dumb enough to do stuff like that. We have to have our modern signs and signage to tell people what's going on. It's not telling me that there's an arrival here in the next few minutes, but there will be. I can't even see the letters in the viewfinder because the sunlight is so bright on the sign, so it kind of dims it out. I don't know what it's like from the other side. We'll go see. Well, we can see a little something, but it'll probably light up a little brighter this week. Zoom out the sunshine. I didn't have enough letters to write old. It doesn't tell him. It's not giving us any training information, but there is an arrival date there in about 10 minutes or so from New Haven. Train from New Haven arriveth. Has 3 Horizon-like coaches. They all have names here. There's a Mark Twain. Jason Morgan. Number I don't know, but I got New Haven's been gone for a long time. I've always been kind of intrigued by the GP40s on this line because they have these flared radiators like ST45s. These are used at food services here in New Haven. If you can hear me. It is rather a strange sight to see a New Haven heated locomotive, GP40, in the 21st century, and New Haven died in the 20th century. This is the new station, kind of reminiscent of the mainline Pennsy stations west of Philadelphia, with the covered stairways going up. So we see the old station taking shape here, kind of shingle style early 20th century architecture. But the modern day GP40 waiting to take off here, a bit of an anomaly. Old 6694 with its 3 coaches we looked at earlier. So I would say before the snow flies, this structure may be ready for occupancy. We kind of missed the old one, but this is far more utilitarian by today's standard. So we will say goodbye to Old Saybrook with my not too well functioning favorite. Have a nice day. Oh, hey folks, we're still here. We're just waiting the departure of this train, probably hanging around. It's only a couple of minutes, so if he's on time in his departure, and I don't see any reason why he wouldn't be, we'll wait around for that. In the meantime, you can look at all the beautiful electrical infrastructure up there. The guy's right up there. It looks a lot closer than he probably is, but wires are live, and there's electric service between Boston and New York, to and through here. So we're just going to let the camera run for a moment. Because our friend is leaving. He's like 10 seconds early, too. I'm standing by the car in the parking lot. So a lot of the ceiling is now elegant. He trundles off to New Haven. The J.P. Morgan, the Arcus, and the Mark Twain. So long, full sacred. This is Bedford, Massachusetts, on the Lexington branch. The year 2002, with a steam engine, a 2-foot gauge engine, the Munson Railroad. BC 6211. Bedford, Massachusetts, 2002. Would you have believed it? What was that about? Preston will be smiling as a steam engine comes by. For this event, this is the old yard track of the Boston and Maine, which was never removed, but it was re-gauged for just this event today. You can see where the old track was on the tie. This is the yard, so to speak, here in Bedford. Ties are still in place. There's still some trackage down there. Preston Johnson being approached by a steam engine here in Bedford. Getting a picture of the railroad inspector here.
Good light on this side.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't get a lot of use. Yeah. repeatedly I busted the main whistle on those. And the curator of Walker Transportation has now escaped at the minute. Examining main narrow gauge railroad, or Munson Railroad number 3, 2-foot gauge, and 6211.
Yeah, right, yeah.
2-foot gauge tracks suddenly becomes standard gauge here at 6211. I think there might be a train coming.
Tom Pearson is from east. Really? He's coming east sometime in October. He wants to go see all these different things. Got a big dilemma though. We're all clear.
Just for posterity.
Yes.
I'll let you get up. You sit right on the window.
Right.
That's right. Watch your head.
This is Preston
All right, we're all
boarding
clear
the
back
train.
here. All right, here we go, please.
I think what you know, is who you know. We'll now retrieve Preston from the other end. Oops, I lost my image there.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah.
Where our house is over all the tracks. I mean, what road is Varius? What's the name of that? That's a young Paul
Being operated by the main narrow gauge railroad. And they truck this base east down here in commemoration of the 125th anniversary of the Bedford and Billerica Railway. Started in 1877. Not one of the most successful business ventures.
During the war. Yeah, government couldn't find it. Right. She's still making them up overseas, right? Yeah, well, they wanted to scrap. Well, that too. I'm sure she heard the whistle. Came here from your house? Yeah. I knew it was widow in Althea. Oh, yeah. I knew it.
We are in Sandwich, Massachusetts, October 5, and we've got our lenses fogging up because of the moisture in the air. You can hear if there is a train coming. Creature coming in to Central Railroad. Some folks are riding today, getting off the train up here to the high-level platform. I don't remember that being here last time I was at Sandwich. Got 1, 2, 3, power in the front of the train is through the trees. Shuffling off, not to Buffalo, but to Hyannis. And red cars, the Barnstable, the Sandwich, and the Bourne, and the Cape Cod communities. Goes. riding the railway going on 631 from New York City, proceeding back to the terminal, Seashore Trolley Museum.
You can see some of it right here. This large piece of ledge right here, one with the boulder falling off in front of it. You can see the line of holes drilled into it. That was how they originally quarried the stone. They drilled a series of shallow, closely spaced holes.
Enjoying your ride, sir?
Oh, yes.
Another satisfied customer. Third Avenue Railway System. Out of foliage today.
See, the Monson, I think all they ever hauled was slate.
Really?
How long is it good for? Is it gone through the FRA
Yeah,
water thing?
I think so. I think that's why 3's going out of service.
Yeah,
Because
there's all kinds of
3 needs
regulations
some
about
severe
them.
work, and I don't think it's going to do the. It's not going to work.
How late in the year do you run?
We run right through year round.
Oh, do you?
We stop daily service, weekly, 7-day service tomorrow.
Yeah.
The 15th, and we start again on the.
Associated with any of the other train things like the one up in Hollowell and the one in Belfast? And, no. So they're not narrow gauge, they're just.
They make underneath here where that board is right there that you're stepping on now,
Yeah.
that's our pit.
Oh, okay. Where do these whistles come from? Do you know?
Oh, yeah. And this one.
So,
If they know, they might not be telling, Preston.
I don't tell anything.
I think they came from B&M engines, to tell you the truth.
This one right here.
Like I said, Glenn can answer that question.
They sounded like a B&M.
Number 3, which was at Bedford a month ago today. Preston, it was a month ago today that you took your ride on number 3.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's a nice, you know, the valve gear and everything on this look pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little more like a steam engine.
Everything is overbuilt. Everything is just so heavy.
It's heavy, alright. I wonder what one needs for new meant for.
You know, but for steam engines, these are relatively new. This one's 1924, the other one's 1923, you know. You'd think they were be like 1888 or something.
Plus the Sandy River engines, they have a real tender on them.
Hope they didn't lose the smoke box cover. Preston is boarding the caboose. This is a Sandy River and Ranger Lakes caboose on the Maine Narrow Gauge Railroad. We are in Portland, Maine, on the right-of-way of the old Grand Trunk Railroad. The old Grand Trunk Depot was roughly at the end of this walkway. That is the back of the old Grand Trunk Railroad office building, and the depot was right across the way. Here we are, looking at the deluxe consist of the Maine Narrow Gauge Railroad.
You don't get a sense of their size, right?
2 rail racks, so that's
That isn't all of it.
using a oil platform in Maine.
Are you ready, right, Daddy?
We're looking at Casco Bay in Portland, Maine, and we're panning around north to west. Almost the St. Lawrence Atlantic Bridge open. Preston is through the trees. We're waiting for the engine to change in soon.
Get a speed shot?
Yeah. I don't choke on the cinders.
They want to go around the back cove someplace and, you know, go up along in town a little bit there or something at one time. Isn't that their plans?
I thought they were to go further down on the waterfront, but that, you know, I don't really remember.
I thought they were supposed to, you know, up here, make a left, not go over the bridge, but go down along the water. But it's a long passage, right?
exactly the Galloping Goose, but it was used on Sandy River and Rangeley Lakes Railroad. Inside one of the coaches. And here we are, October 15th, Tom doing his thing here at Thomaston, Connecticut. We are observing the rolling stock that is parked here at Thomaston Station. The old station. Thomas. And this thing with photography. Train's down there. I don't know if he's coming in at the station or not. I think he's actually running around the train. He's going to couple on. And bring it down for the 10 o'clock departure this morning. Alpha RS3, vintage 1950. New Haven number 529 or 0529. Car inspector over here. Cars have brakes on them this time. train down at the end of the line here with this happy bunch of passengers. Satisfied, not a customer here. With a 1923 model CN coach, a 1950 model Alco R3. The colors.
No, it'll be a longer trip. That's an old guy, 1890. They got tires sometimes, so you hit the couch one, you hit the bumping one. Yeah. There you go. That's a rail car. You're up safety, you're up. Grease up that way. I didn't have the grease stay inside the engine. It was warm. It would die. I was getting derailment up the Poughkeepsie one time. Yeah, the train went that way. I jumped out that way. I didn't open a piece of track or something.
Movie is not playing tonight.
Now we're coming up on the side of the dam. Climbing uphill here.
What, I'll come on this side here?
Where the water runs out all the time. That's where the water runs off. See how high up we are, we're climbing up. We're going up here.
There's a lot more water coming out.
This railroad helped to build this dam. After the Army engineers came in, somebody had to haul the stuff up to the dam railroad. Good. And this dam right here is on this side. The Army engineers built this dam.
We're the only railroad in North America that goes over the face of the dam. This is one railway is considered to be a rare life. They get on here and they've really done something. You see over here, silver colored box.
I fell asleep going on the subway.
claim your seats.
This is
Rebooting call on
the
dock number
Amtrak
3.
station
Those
in
passengers continue on.
Portland. It's also the bus station.
Reclaim complimentary snack. And thank you, traveling concurrence.
This is really what we're interested in, and that's the door that we will be going through. And this is where we make your purchase for such a passage. And this is the Portland station, which looks identical to a departure lounge or an airport. Satisfied Amtrak passenger waiting for his train. Yeah. Watching CNN on the monitor. It's 21st century railroad. We are now outside on the platform listening to our Genesis locomotive, Amtrak number 825, which brought us up here and will push us back to Boston. We are looking up the mountain division of the old Boston and Maine Railroad towards the mountains. That's where the station here is in Portland, and Consist is sitting here along this nice new high-level platform we have here in Portland. The canopy overhead is wave-shaped to simulate the ocean waves, painted blue. And there is a signal down there, yellow over red. Sign up here, welcome to go down Easter. And we are soon going to be, well, it'll be a few minutes before we board. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cars in the cabbage. There's one business class car and one cafe car and 2 4-people coaches. The cabbage car is XF40 number 220, now 90220. Probably used on the surf line in San Diego. Looks very familiar. We had a lot of them in the 220 whatever series when I was living there. So we're alongside here, getting ready to board soon. Oops, here we are on board down Easter, getting ready to head back to Boston from Portland. We are looking at the wildlife and marshes south of Scarborough. And Amtrak's down Easter, and hopefully in that or so, we're going to see Mount Washington. Rather nice home over here. No, Mount Washington is out there. There it is. Don't fail me. See it, but there it is. Here we are, the rail event of the year. There's Tom walking in front of our conveyance, the dome car, Dorothea May, and the Pennsylvania Scenic Railroad to be pulled by this engine over here. We think the 6505. The other pieces of rolling stock here. Coach. The eternal restoration of the main central 501. This is going on. That's the life of the restoration business. Beautiful day here in the middle of foliage season. Today because Okay, here we are in Domeland. This is video. This will be on 60 Minutes tonight if I'm in. Tom is kind of a silhouette here, but anyway.
There's a lot of produce shipped out of Glen Jackson Railroad.
It's a pretty station.
We're crossing over the Ellis River now. We're going to use truss bridges all the way up to Crawford Notch today. As a matter of fact, we used them yesterday. You can't change a bridge. What are you talking about? Well, the Ellis River comes down the east side of Mount Washington and flows down alongside Route 16 and through the Glen Ellis Falls and through Jackson and Glen, and it joins the Saco River back by the campground.
You pronounced it right.
This is Route 302 on our right-hand side. We have lost Route 16. It has gone north there at Glen, up through Gorham and Bartlett, and all the way to the Canadian border. Whereas 302 intertwines with us and winds up over in Vermont. Side of 302. And they have put an extension on their building. It's a red building coming up on the right-hand side. And when we run our first trips in the spring, we stop here to permit. This is it right here. That's the new cider house right there. And we generally stop our train and permit the passengers to disembark and go in and check on the new apple cider and apple jelly and drink it.
How about this shot?
And we just crossed over the Saco River using a double span truss bridge.
Same one they used yesterday, too. I tell you about the...
There. And there's a small clearing. You can see the red roof on the covered bridge over there at Bartlett.
Oh, that water's cold. Yeah. Somebody got some camping stuff.
And that's coming down from...
The kid, he says, everybody can get a whistle, but you can't always get a powerhouse to blow it at noontime every day. Well, that place in Stoneham, they had a railroad bridge that used to run around Boston Yard. They didn't whistle very much, but when they went down to Mr. Clough, they had to whistle from Main Street and Rutherford Avenue and Charleston. Well, it was first blast of whistle. It was like somebody coughing up phlegm until you got all the water out of there, and then they go out to a nice tone. They had a pretty good sounding whistle.
Yeah.
I used to put my foot on the pedal on the dispatcher.
Some of the wildlife over here.
I'm losing senior moment.
Mm-hmm.
From Little B. Jones, he says, you're the number one. I said, thank you. I don't think I do.
We are at Bartlett with a green signal through the dome to our window. Crossing, inspecting the town down there. These are full rail fans, and they are getting off the train to witness a run-by. We're going to stay aboard and be part of the run-by. World's #1 rail fan is down there trackside now. Getting ready to get some photographs. This is the view looking out the rear of the dome car. A lot of people have gotten off to observe the run-by. We're going to stay on board. It's a little cloudy. It's not because it's foggy, it's because the glass is cloudy. But hey, it's a dome. Heck. World's #1 rail fan out there.
Now they're going to back the train far down the track.
Tom Pearson is viewed from a moving train.
Right now, we're going to be cruising. We're going to be.
We talked about that before.
There's a siding.
Picture of Tom and Preston.
This is Bartlett. If we were on.
Bartlett, USA.
Stop!
We are backing down into Bartlett after a run-by. we're inside the dome. Bartlett, USA. Here, all Royal fans. We're doing a dance out there.
I think that's Daddy videoing us up there.
Here they are, the old photo line, so to speak. We are approaching Bartlett Engine House, slowly being restored.
That's that game. That's a new one for me.
Like what? Michael, easy. It's nice that you want to share, but easy. Especially when people are eating.
Dry here, you know.
Yeah. Sunny here, but clouds.
You fooling me.
No fool is good, okay?
Yeah. Lost.
Nancy, and then Venus, Willie, and Willard. This is second iron crossing over the Saco River here.
See the river too. Oh, okay.
And here we are in River Road.
Tough shape down here.
Yeah, it
Walls
is.
are falling down.
Makes the Portland division look like it's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't much better.
That's the warning for Frankenstein trestle.
Ah.
Yeah,
that one's surrounded, that one's on the other job.
Are we going to get to see Frankenstein?
we'll go over Frankenstein trestle a little slowly, give you an opportunity to look up and down and around and so on. This bridge was opened to service in 1875 in August. It was reconstructed again in 1895 due to the fact that the original construction was very flimsy and the trains became heavier and locomotives larger, and so they had to reconstruct the bridge. It's about 500 feet long, curving to the left, about 80 feet above ground level. When we're crossing the bridge, if you look high to the left, you'll be looking at Frankenstein Cliff, the upper portion. And then the lower portion extends right down to the railroad track. We're coming out on Frankenstein's trestle now. This bridge cannot be seen from the highway, and therefore you cannot see the highway from here either. It's down to the right. There is the little building, the first one. It is a ranger station with a ranger handing out information when necessary. The second building is brand new. These are restrooms to accommodate the thousands of hikers that crisscross beneath this bridge. This is Frankenstein Trestle. It's kind of cloudy forward to the right. That's where Mount Washington lies from this direction.
Yeah, I know.
Especially if you're flying in, you take it.
Mountain. Oh, that goes mountain down. Watch out.
Because that's nothing good there.
Let's see.
Huh?
No, mine is just the other.
One big windshield wiper doing all.
That's the mirror. That's the memory.
They're not even on every single one. But the idea is,
He just said
It's
what
scratches
your
on it.
chest, train guide.
Remember climbing up from the road up to the track here at Willie Brook to get some pictures. That had to be a tough call. Well, those clouds are low, aren't they? They're high and the clouds are where they ought to be.
Yep. Yeah, well, that could be bad.
Dad, you'll be watching this.
we're coming up on it. It's right here.
Michael.
Not getting out.
Hey, there's a road.
There is a road.
See the road down there, man?
There's a road up here too. It's an iron one.
See what? The road, yeah.
The road's up there right now.
Yeah, that was.
But you'll be able to see it when you go around the corner. You can't see it down here yet.
Down between Mount Willie and Mount Willard. The bridge is 240 feet long. It's 94 feet above ground level. And it had the distinction of being built in two sections, the first of which was wood, and the second was iron. It opened up for service in 1875, approximately the same time as the Frankenstein trestle. They had two crews working, one from the west and one from the east, so they completed the two bridges approximately at the same time. And so this bridge opened up in 1875, but it was reconstructed again in 1905. We are not going to stop at Willie Brook Bridge for a photo run by due to the weather conditions turning a little bit foul. And we must go on to Crawford. We're going straight through to Crawford Station. We will lay over there for a few moments and then continue on to Fabian. At Fabian, we will lay over long enough to put the two trains back together before returning to North Conway.
Down there, Mike. See the road down there. When we get around the corner,
Oh, yeah.
That'll give us an engine. Yep.
It's coming out on Mount Willie Brook Bridge right now. On the far side, on the right-hand side, is the location of the Mount Willard House. This was a section foreman and family's house, and was owned by, owned by the railroad, but Lauren Evans and Hattie Evans lived here. They came here in 1903. Lauren was killed by a freight locomotive up at Crawford, and Hattie remained here the balance up until 1942. The stone marker is down right alongside the track.
we're up there.
It was placed there in 1997, but after the Evans family left this area and passenger service ceased, why the building remained empty for quite a while, but it was being inhabited by hikers and transits and hobos and bums and what have you. And the railroad was afraid of fire here in the National Forest, and so in December of 1972, in a heavy snowstorm, they burned all the buildings to the ground. We'll cross over another small bridge called the Girders. This originally was called the Great Mill because they had to fill in this area when they constructed the bridge.
Okay.
road has been laid out on a shelf that has been carved off the sides of Mount Willie and Mount Willett and Mount Bemis.
Is that beautiful?
Yeah, it's too much the sky overhead. One or two people. Yeah, that one that Jonesy used, that way, they got 2 on the head and 4 in the rear. They're the helper engine, they come right out of Rigby. Wake up.
As the floating cascade on your right-hand side, you can see a white stream of water coming down, looks like silver.
Wow.
Floating cascade. The next one up on the right side will be Silver Cascade. They're coming down the side of Mount Jackson, go under the highway, and join the Saco River, which is down on our right-hand side. See the highway coming up and getting closer to us, so we go through the gateway into one place. Gateway's about 100 feet wide, but the highway and the railroad and the Saco River all go through in one place.
Yeah, go and stand up on that rock at the gateway.
On both sides.
We're going to stop at Crawford, of course, and you folks can get off there for a short time. The second train is going to come in behind us, and they will pull in on the siding, which will be on our left. We will pull in and park there, and then they will come in on the left side. They'll be a little bit staggered, so if you'd like to take a photograph of the locomotives from the front, well, you'll be able to get 2 of them.
There's been some good pictures taken from up there.
Yeah.
Right here, looks like the train is going down the highway right there.
Through the gateway here.
We're looking at Central Lake.
It's a pretty little lake. Yeah, the old Crawford house used to have that, well, you had a pedestrian walk across the tracks.
Now, across the station, into our dome. It's snowing outside. It's not show up yet.
Going up to the Canadian
It's
station.
snowing.
We're going to put the trains together here.
Laid the tracks from Fabian to the base station. You go to the base station of the Cog Railroad up this road. The railroad tracks ran up through the woods. Some of the tracks are still in there. And they were put down by Boston, Concord, and Montreal in 1876. Now we're going to stop here and we'll do the normal run around. You can get off the train if you wish. I don't really know. On a day like today, we actually don't run by schedule, so I can't tell you the time. We have a crew chief who is running the whole show today, so I can't tell you what time it'll be, but I know it's time enough that he will uncouple the 2 locomotives and run them by on that track on the right side and couple them up to the rear to haul us back to North Conway. Now, the footing here is not as smooth as it is in Crawford. In order to get off, you must walk down the steps of the car, then on a wood step box, and then on a wood platform, and then on the ground.
573, look at that.
Taking both units down, huh?
I hope so. Larry, you have a lot of cars in his collection, railroad cars?
What kind?
All kinds, I mean. Oh, yeah. The baggage cars, the RPOs, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Look to the left down the valley here, and you see on the right-hand side, the clear spot on the side of Mount Willie. That's where the Willie slide took place. The slide was much wider than that. There were actually 3 slides, but the 2 others have overgrown with vegetation. And the bare rock is the only thing that's showing today. Their home was 600 feet below down in the valley, right where the highway is located. And it was on a Monday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, after a severe drought in 1886, that the heavens opened up and the sky got black and there was wind blowing terrible, thunder and lightning, and it rained. And of course, the Saco River rose 24 feet. Sam Willie and his wife took to higher ground. They didn't want to be cut off by the river. And when they were taken to higher ground, they were overtaken by the avalanche. And Sam, his wife, 5 children, and 2 hired men were all killed in that slide. That winning storm, it filled the valley here with water. Way down by Bemis, why Abel Crawford lost all the land on his farm. He had 200-acre farm there, 240 acres. He lost a brand new sawmill. He lost 26 sheep. And they lost something like 13 out of 17 bridges that were constructed across the 10th New Hampshire Turnpike and this day. The Willie family is buried in a family plot alongside the Scottish line and Niddervale on Route 16 in North Conway. The 2 hired men, one is buried in the Bartlett Cemetery, and the other one, no one seems to know where he has been laid to rest.
Must have been quite a sight to see the steam train coming.
Now, for those folks who didn't see the stone marker that was placed here by the Willie House, the Mount Willett House rather, it's right here on the left-hand side, right down close to the tracks. You have to look quickly. There it is, right there. Oh boy, we're really moving. The family placed that there in 1997, indicating that that was the location of the Evans family home. Oh boy, what a pimple.
Most people got their windows open.
This is part of the lower section of Frankenstein Cliff.
Wow, look at that.
And we're out on the trestle right here. There's a good shot. We've got 2 locomotives, the first few coaches out there. And the red on the right-hand side is quite good. Those trees are turning color up here on your right. At Frankenstein Cliff, the upper portion here is over 2,500 feet above ground, and then it goes down to the lower level here, to the rear. You got Crawford Dome over here on your left, and Crawford Mountain. And Stair Mountain is over there. I can't seem to find Stair Mountain.
That was
5-7.
cute. Today we're going over that truss bridge there, the same one. The water. I like that.
This is North Iron, the Sawyer River. Sawyer River Logging Railroad operated 2.5 miles to the southwest on the shores of the Sawyer River.
Okay.
Oh, you have...
We're looking at, I like looking at bridges through the roof of the train. I mean, you can't do that every day, you know?
Quite a traveling clock, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't run very well, though.
Got one here. Yeah. Yeah, compared with the, you know, with the new stuff like that. Chelsea.
Just to make it worthwhile for people to go to Boston and come back. Give them some choices.
Well, as somebody was saying the other day, someplace I was, I forget where it was, they mentioned going down on the train.
Here's your engine house.
They said how they could fly down, you know, how they could drive down there so much quicker and one thing or another.
I bet you don't get clam chowder. Unless you stop at the main diner in Wells.
We don't have too much trouble this winter to the point of, you know, having some serious delays.
But it could.
Mountains are pretty with the clouds and the sun.
Here on your right-hand side. And as I mentioned going up this morning, on West Side Road is the home of Carol Kelly. He was a section foreman on this piece of track here, this section, for 42 years. And he has retired and lives alone on the right-hand side. And he's usually out there when we come home waving his arm, so if you see him and you're on the right-hand side of the train, why, give him a wave.
They had quite a mixed bag on there. There was somebody on there from Shelby, Montana, a couple from California, one from New Orleans. Nice looking station. McMillan in the morning there, the morning people, you know, I hope you had a good night, and you know, all you know, they made him quit it. Somebody objected to it.
It was too nice, huh?
He's a good guy. I mean, it was nothing. In fact,
Alan is a very
maybe it
likable
didn't.
guy,
Maybe it interfered with them reading their paper, or maybe it,
Sleeping.
if they had a bad night or something, maybe it spoiled their day. I don't know what it was, but anyway, it didn't last too long. What a nice little pile of coal there.
$2, yeah. So 2 blend. I think they said they use a blend.
Well, they might. It wouldn't surprise me.
There's a lot of stuff that, a lot goes with it. There's a lot of, it's not
A fly-by-night operation. You really have a lot of logistics. I think it's probably run as well as any of them.
Well, that was some trip, huh?